Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one, I'm going to be talking about the weekend feud hype, and in particular, some issues and problems I feel like there are with it. I was going to do this in the daily news, but I realized it was going to be so much that it would just distract from the daily news, so I thought it deserved its own its own video, especially because of how important I feel like it is. So one of the things about the feud event in particular is how good or successful it is completely revolves around your war score, right? All of the blitz tickets, there's no tour the final day. So all of the blitz tickets, the majority of them come from the bonus quotation mark milestones. Um, if you watched my breakdown video of how much um there's no medallions in any of the free milestones. In any of the ones you can get, there's 0 medallions. The war score medallions, you have to go all the way up to 450 million and then you can get some, right? But all of the blitz tickets to score, and this one also, by the way, the tours were not very forgiving. This is probably the worst feud my free to play has done, as far as scoring the chests. Not the feud score, but like getting the chests. And there's some other reasons for that. We'll get into it. So one of the big problems, in my opinion, is that this war score event has been overtuned forever, like since they redid it to this. People just weren't that were maxing war score. Like Mherex, and just full disclosure, I maxed it on Mherex this weekend, right? So I'm not complaining for me. I'm complaining for my friends and the average players here. Um, it takes way too long. It used to be Mherex account an hour, 2 hours most, and I could max war score. Now it's probably like a good 4 to 6 hours, right? And that's not counting hype. This is not factoring in hype. It was too long anyway, because if that's what the super high end account can do, that feuds pretty quickly and efficiently, the average person, it was taking 10, 12 hours just to max the war score, and that's simply to get the bare minimum of stuff for the event. It was too much to begin with, in my opinion, by far. And then you add hype into it, and it gets even harder because it's slower. Now, the solution they had this weekend for hype is we're going to give you bonus points for your hyped characters losing. I have multiple issues with this, and I am going to offer a great simple suggestion, because you shouldn't criticize without a solution. And this is way simpler than Scopely is making it. Way too much effort. So we have no idea where those bonus points were. If you watched, you could sometimes it would say 9 million points from hype, and you're like, well, that's not even possible. 7 million points. Your score was ping-ponging all over the place with notifications. It basically, no one has any idea if we got it, where it went, how it worked, etc. I assume we didn't get it at all. Actually, that's my assumption, but I don't know that that's correct. So that's issue one with the system of losing hype. All right. Issue two is, how is that a fair or even solution to feud scoring? The more hype you have, the more points you get. The people with a bunch of hype aren't the ones that need faster war score, Scopely. This is bass backwards. Plus, rewarding you for losing is just stupid, right? I mean, seriously, not everyone deserves a trophy, and the idea of rewarding you for losing, I mean, when the strategy can be, I want to put in my super crappy hype level 3 or 4 superstar and let them beat it easily, that's stupid. Like, how is that a thing? Like, I want to put in a bad card with high hype and make it super easy to win so I can get bonus points for bringing no one. That's just dumb, right? Why is this so complicated? Just add to the war score, right? Like, up at 30%, your war score wins. Boom, done, equal, everyone's fair. You don't have all this weird stuff to do. We don't need more incentive to use hype. The incentive is, if you have a high hype, you go first, right? I don't need extra war score for having hype. And if you're going to give me extra war score, do it for freaking beating a hyped card, right? Like, not for being under, like, not for losing with a hyped card. So one, it's imbalanced because getting more points with hype superstars completely benefits the whales right now. Like when it's even and people have a bunch of high hype superstars, that might be a better solution. But it's obviously way too complicated when there's a very, very simple answer. Just increase the war score or lower the event. Like per battle, increase what you get for unique wins just across the board, just up at 30%. In fact, I would argue it would still take too long at 30% for what you get for this event for maxing the war score. It's not worth the time it takes most players. You should probably just up at 50% to be honest, and it would be a much more enjoyable feud experience. That's problem one, right? Is your scoring system. Problem two is your stupid CSS, especially on a ladies feud where a bunch of the eras suck and you can't score points with them at all, like easily. So like take someone with a newer account. I'm on the free to play. Let's look at my women by era. This is like a 4-month-old account at this point. And keep in mind, you want people to play and get to the gold chest, right? You just the bonus milestones are for spending, yeah? Right? That's the idea behind it, right? Like this is what you can achieve some cool things on the prize wall for free. You want that for players. And then the more expensive stuff you make people pay for. I agree. That's fine. No issue with that. But let's look at this when we sort by era. This is like a 4-month-old account. My attitude. I have to win with this garbage? Legend, thank God I have Mae Young, but she's only 5-star gold. Hall of Fame, I have 1. And yeah, you sold Molly Holly at 6-star silver for $7, but what about any free-to-play that's been playing your game for 4 months? You try to win, have Scopely, question, have any of you tried to win with the 3-star silver Bella who's not worth putting resources into? Just curious question. All right, moving on. Let's look at new gen. I have 1, Liv, who's not bad, but she's not leveled because I can't do it yet. PG, thank God that wasn't a requirement. Reality, Charlotte isn't good till you get all this stuff. And then Ruthless Aggression. So how now imagine, if you will, follow with me. I'm trying to run a bare minimum. So now I'm trying to get wins with this crap. Do you know how long it takes to get 6 wins with these crappy eras? Like, another question. What is the era we have the most good cards in by far? Modern. Yet it's not a requirement. I'm just curious why. Why do you pick the absolute most garbage CSS to try and win with? Do you think that's fun for anyone? Like, so again, we're not talking about bonus milestones. This is simply to try and get to a decent score to get anything off the prize wall. Like anything, right? You guys have the prize wall set up. It's like 34, 24 for the higher end stuff. You're not getting there without spending or a huge account and feuding a ton. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your super crappy CSS system. And by the way, it is super crappy. That just isn't fun, takes forever, and doesn't work. And it's even worse with hype, because now you're going to require me to use super crappy cards that don't have hype. How am I supposed to win with this? Like, legitimately, the average player. Okay? That's a problem. That's not a problem with hype. It's a problem with your crappy system, right? Fix your crappy system. So what you need to do is have a way better CSS, right? Like, I mean, the class one is fine. Just add more points to the class one. You're going to make me use all the different classes. That's fine. If you want to have modern be a requirement, that's fine. Everyone's got a bunch of modern cards that are leveled up. But why are you doing like Ruthless Aggression, Reality Era, you know what I mean? New gen ladies. In particular, ladies who you guys, by the way, completely ignore in this game. There's 5 times more males than women. Just throwing that out there. So yeah, it's a really crappy system in general, right? Your CSS system. So you need to fix that, in my opinion. So you have this going on, and I have people, and I have friends that I've played with, not in my faction, but people I've known for 5-6 years that continually have no issues with Feud and didn't have necessarily an issue with hype, right? They did end up having an issue with hype because there's so much RNG on the early stages of hype, and if you're not buying you guys is what in my opinion are super terrible value offers, which I get why you do that, right? If you were putting out great offers on hype, that would imbalance it even more, to be honest. So you're making a bunch of money off the people that want to overpay for something that is really not going to be a long-term advantage, which is fine. That's what you've always done. I actually don't mind that. Fleece the whale, so I'm good with it. But um the problem is though is that early on here, there's not enough hype to get to make up for the RNG factor, right? So like, for example, ladies in particular is the hardest thing to compete. I should be on Mherex account, not the free to play. Maybe I'll pull that up to give some examples, right? But if you run into, let's say, so I got a buddy, Sean. He has a huge roster. He's been playing forever. He doesn't struggle in Feud. He hasn't struggled adapting to hype. We talk a lot. Um, he doesn't have a single hype 2 lady, and he can't afford to use wildcard on maybe more than one, because if even that, he used a bunch of wildcard to take his decent ladies to level 1, right? So he had some ladies at least at level 1. That obviously isn't ideal. And what happens if you run into a hype 2, which is not that hard to have, by the way, mommy with gear? There's very few ladies that can reverse him. You're trying to do your CSS, right? And you don't have your reversal people in because you're using your gosh dang terrible CSS system. And now you run into a geared mommy. And oh, by the way, you don't have any Ghostbusters coaches. Even the 3 MPs, if people set their mommy up with MP trainers, which aren't all available, by the way, either, aren't enough. So again, not necessarily a problem with hype. I love the strategy part of bringing MP down trainers in, bringing multiply down, bringing submission down trainers, right? These are things I actively like and think are good about hype and good for the game. But you're implementing it in a way that doesn't allow people to actually combat it, right? So if you want to protect your special super Ghostbusters cards with 10 MP down trainers, that's fine. But you need to introduce like at least -5 trainers, and the -3s need to be available for people, period. Not paid, they need to be available. In fact, I would suggest you send out the -3s like in a claim at coach. Let people level them up, let them use them, let them have them. That is my suggestion to you, Scopely, to fix part of your problem here. So I'm going to go to Mherex account here, and we'll talk about like a couple ladies that if you don't have a big roster, good freaking luck if they're hyped, right? Hold on. Right button here. This should bring it up. Here we go. All right. And it's way harder at ladies, right? So, I have a hype 2 mommy, right? I'm a long way from hype 3, but it'd be even worse if it's 3. She's got MP gear. She's got a moment that doubles her health, right? So my mommy's in an offensive set, running with approximately like 160 mil, 170 mil health in Feud without trying to get more. That's without using entourage that adds anything. How do I run my mommy? I like to 2-click her with the yellows, right? So I got 4 MP for the gear. That brings me up to what's that? 8. Now we're up to 10. 1 for my turn is 11. So 11 MP, and if you don't have the 3 yellow one, you're in for a bad time. Plus, she's hype 2 and gonna go first, right? So you could potentially use 2 of these on mine, but what if I just put Brawn Breaker in here? Then you're completely screwed, right? And I could do that if I wanted to, but Morrison is the yellow MP down one. That's a problem, you know, for if you're running mommy this way and you don't care about the MP up being loaded, which I don't because there's reversals. If I put Brawn Breaker in here, even if you have Morrison, which a lot of people don't, you're not, what are you going to do? Then she's going to hit you with this and she's overhyped on you, which impacts your defense. You're not kicking out. You're not going to stop mommy this way. There's no reversal you can stop. If I put MP up in here, Brawn, and if I wanted to be a dick, I could. You are not going to stop my mommy, even if you have this. You would need a yellow MP reduction trainer, which is, oh, by the way, Ghostbuster Roman. So good luck, as most people won't have Ghostbuster Roman. So you're creating a bad situation, and ladies, it's way worse than men because there's way less options. And the ladies that are really good are really freaking good. Here's another one. Michelle McCool, Showboat. Mine's got 100 million health in Feud without adding any health things, right? If you have her gear, you don't need this, right? And mine's only hype 1. Now imagine she's hype 2. She's got a 1 MP kick out, so she can do it every turn and heal. So you're going to have to do 100 million damage to her in 1 turn. What happens if I want to be a dick, because this hits way harder than it needs to, like way harder? And I do, you can see previous, I do this in Showdown with McCool all the time. She's one of my favorites. So what if I do that? And then let's just add, let's add a HP person, right? Like Cody or something. I don't know if I have, who adds 30%. I could do that. Now, instead of Priest, because I don't really need the 2 multiply, I could easily run Hall of Fame here, right? With the 40% increase, I could get up to like easily 200 million health, still win with an MP, with a multiply down, and still be winning with her because she hits hard enough. I don't want to do that because she might not hit hard enough, but that is possible. And then how are you going to beat her? Because it isn't reversible. She doesn't get reversed with her multiply thing because it's on the combo move where it's happening at the same time. So how are you supposed to beat overhyped Michelle McCool with gear too? Like again on the same thing, I could run double black MP here. Now you're not beating her with singles, you're not beating her with doubles, right? And there are people that are doing this because they get off on it, right? So, and she's hard enough for an average account to beat anyway. And McCool isn't that hard to have, right? Her gear a little bit harder for sure, but it's not without the realm of possibility. So there are some situations where you simply can't beat them. Now take in your 99 MP. This is an even bigger problem, especially because you guys sell hype, right? For example, speaking of selling hype, it's expensive. The whales are going to buy it. I think it's horrible value. I won't buy it. But if you got Julia and she's got 99 MP, and how are you going to stop Julia? Potentially, it's not easy. Certainly you can. So if she's running triple black, I went into it with Mommy. I faced a level 3 Julia, but I have Mommy with gear, so 1, not fair for most of you, right? Like as far as the comparison, Mommy geared. But what I did is, you show previous, she was running the bleed set, and I ran, so coach I didn't think I'd run ever in Feud. Decrease sub turns by 3. So I just ate 1 bleed, and then took my turn and then beat her with my move damage, right? But the average person probably can't do that, even kind of. The average person maybe doesn't have Mommy, right? So there are a bunch of situations, and 99 MP with the way it works and the fact that you're selling hype. So Flash Feud, right? When Flash Feud comes up this month, all the whales are probably going to have hype 3 or hype 4 Mommy, just like they have hype 3 or 4 Ray Phoenix, because you straight up sold their hype. And I get why you're doing it. It's a bad spend, because once you get them maxed at hype, that stuff just rolls into pulls, and not big pulls, by the way. So this is both good and bad. Let me find the screenshot somebody sent me. This is good and bad. I'm actually not sure how I feel about this, because I can understand both feelings, right? And on the one hand, it's good, and on the other hand, it's bad. Let me just, I don't think this outs anyone. Yeah, right here. So this particular person, where'd my screen go? Whatever, it doesn't matter. This particular person has EO Sky maxed. There was offer for EO Sky hype, and then I think this was a pull of 50 extra EO shards. She's maxed, so you can't save them up. It converts to 1 pull, right? Which is not a good ratio. So in this case, I can kind of sympathize with the spender in the sense that, wow, that's a huge waste. At the same time, once you know that, you're like, okay, maybe I don't buy these offers. I'm just doing it really short term to have a slight advantage. When the next hype comes out, I won't be able to do it. So I can see the good here, right? Like for anyone not doing crazy amount of spending, this is a good thing. It helps keep it balanced. So I don't want to see this go away. But I just also want people to be aware when you're spending for this hype, when it's maxed, it just rolls into a very, very low return in a single pull. Now, like I said, I can see both sides to this. I don't usually like siding with spenders. I feel like this is a very little reward for it, though. At the same time, what you reward, you'd have to be very careful with, because hype is potentially overbalanced in a problem anyway, right? So you want to be very careful not to make it pay to win, but I just want that to be an example. Now, where did my freaking... There it goes. Okay. So, yeah, issues. You have issues, especially with ladies. Crappy CSS, stop. 99 MP to the hype people, stop. Especially if you're gonna sell straight up hype, because this last flash feud, just like in Showdown, I'm sure you guys saw a bunch of 4 hype Ray Phoenixes. And of course, if you guys don't know, a separation of like 3 hype gap. So if you're 1 and they're 4, it's like them having armor loadout and you having no strap. You can hit for 150 million and it gets reduced to like 30 million. So you can't really bridge that gap from 1 to 4. So Ray Phoenix won't be great on defense when hype's even, because you can just use your Hall of Famer with MP or gem percentage and he can never get a hit off, right? You can still do that now. It's going to take a while, but they're going to tag their partner in, you know what I mean? So it's a lot harder to do successfully. But now you can't do that with 99 MP. Like you can't sell hype for the new cards and then give them 99 MP on defense. If you want to keep it on offense, whatever, that's fine. I get it. But you can't do that on defense, because you automatically, that's just straight pay to win. So that needs to be fixed. My suggestion is to turn 99 MP off on defense, which it was last feud by accident. Much, much better outcome. Players shouldn't be getting 99 MP on defense with hype, period, especially if you're going to sell it. So solution 1, stop selling the individual hype for the new cards that come out. Or option 2, disable 99 MP on defense. That evens things way up. So again, a lot of this isn't problem with hype itself. It's problem in the way you're implementing it and the way you're doing it, right? With the way ladies feuds are, with the crappy CSS and complete RNG on hype, and allowing people again to buy the hype. So now Julia flash feud, you're going to have hype for Julia's. If somebody wanted to drop $115 or $20, whatever it is, right? And now you're going to have deal with that, and you're going to need at least a hype 2 to deal with that, but she's got 99 MP. And if they're running another moveset, like the Pyro one, I don't think it's reversible with 99 MP on defense. I literally don't know that it's reversible. You could set her up so she's not reversible, and then it's just auto lose your entire line. Most of the time that's not the case. Very rarely will it be the case where it's auto lose with 99 without 99 MP, because there's almost counters for just about everything. But in the case of the 99 MP, that needs to go away and needs to be fixed ASAP. I think those are some of my big takeaways, Scopely. Why are you overcomplicating it? If we're not scoring enough, and we are not, don't give weird backdoor points for hype. Just frickin' lower the milestones for scoring or increase the scoring. It's super simple. It's the easiest fix you possibly can do. Like, I don't understand. Why are you making life harder on yourself? That takes resources, time, and money. Come on, guys. Like, do better. Like, just fix it by giving everyone, and how often have I said this in competitive modes, it should be equal, even, fair. Like, what's more fair than everyone gets the same war score boost? I mean, gosh dang, guys. Figure it out. Because, you know, again, hype isn't the problem, but you're shooting yourself in the foot here too, right? There's a lot of stuff I like about hype, but you need to do better, because it's just frustrating. Anyway, like I said, this is going to be too long for a feud video, and just so everyone knows, this is not me ranting against hype. There's a lot of stuff you can do as a player to take responsibility as well, right? So I do want to say a couple things in closing. One, it's not harder to feud with hype on my free-to-play than it was before feud. I don't have a single gold or silver on my ladies roster. I got my face kicked in before hype. get my face kicked in after hype. There are a lot of things I can do to make that easier, and I do that. Great example is I queued up with someone with a 240k roster. I had a 70k roster. My highest was 1 6-star bronze. They had 4 6-star golds. We went in and he got like a 140k opponent, and I got like 100k opponent. I was done with my line in 10 minutes, and he timed us out. He wasn't doing himself any favors. He was running way too big of a lineup for what he had. So there's a lot of self-inflicted damage here too, and I do want to clarify that. If you're struggling with like seeing a bunch of high hype people, that's partly on you. On the Mherex account, who's a huge roster, the highest hype I saw all feud was level 3. I didn't see him that much. I only have 2 ladies at hype 2. The rest were hype none or hype 1 the whole feud. I do have a Nikki Cross at hype 3 that I did put in there a little bit, but not as a fighter. She had no strap, no trainers, and she wasn't there to fight. She was just there to try and score some passive points. Obviously, that wasn't working, so that went out the window right away because your scoring system sucked and wasn't working. No surprise, really. So, yeah. There is stuff you can do to make your hype life easier, and you need to do that and take responsible for that. But at the same time, Scopely, you need to give us a better product here, right? Like, and the hype system itself, again, I want to clarify, I actually really like this. I like the bones. I like the possibilities here. The game was super stale and boring. This has a chance, and it does. Like I said, I didn't think I'd ever use a sub reduction coach. I had to figure out a way in the moment how I could deal with this thing that looked undealable, and I was able to do that. But you need to give players the tools to deal with it, right? So you need to be aware, and I know a lot of you probably don't play at a level where you're aware of this, of some of the pitfalls with a mode like Feud, when people, to get anything at all out of the weekend, basically need to max, right? Otherwise, you're not getting anything. This was a completely wasted weekend for my free-to-play. The only reason I played Feud was so I could do my faction score, right? On Mherex, it was mostly wasted too until the Phoenix shards were in there because I could get those. But most weekends, I don't even bother maxing Feud because it's not worth the time, and it's literally a waste of time. And I think you guys really need to reevaluate your time costs to the reward you're giving players in Feud in general, and then stop. You're making people hate hype way more than they should because you're setting up really bad situations, right? So you know what? Do this for what it's worth. Take it for what it's worth, but there's some really easy things you can do to fix hype. To recap, improve feud scoring. All the -3 MP coaches should go out to players, all of them. Everyone should get the -3s. And then you need to introduce, I suggest, this is a suggestion, do it for what it's worth, but next MLC, having your cards have trainers with -5 MP. And now, that's not a good suggestion. The free ones over the next few months give -5 MP, or give old Hall of Famers that have crappy training abilities, or, here's a better one, Lex and Yoko's trainers suck. Give Lex and Yoko -5 MP on their trainers. That's 2 right out of the gate. All of the reworks that you've been doing with really bad trainers that aren't good. So this month we have old Rusev, right? You know what would be great for old Rusev? Give him -5 MP on top of his blast training ability, right? So his training ability right now gives you 3 blasts. There's a way better one. Just give him -5 MP at 9k. There's one. Here, we'll fix this for you right now. Black. He's got a not really great training ability. Red moves deal 30%, yellow moves do 20%. Give him a 15k ability, -5 MP. That's 2. Lex and Yoko's both suck. That's 4. We're almost there for you, right? This is the most worthless trainer in the game. Give him 9k, -5 MP. Yellow gems specifically, at yeah, whatever. Give him at freaking 9K negative 5 MP, right? That's 4. Next month's freebie is 5, and then who was the rework the month before? Who was 2 other really bad reworks? There was anyway, go with some of the earlier reworks that you did that weren't that great, that don't have great training abilities. That would be fine. You know what I mean? There's plenty of older ones. If you want to look at the Hall of Fames, there's a bunch of crappy training abilities on the old Hall of Fames. There's no shortage of just throwing negative 5 MP in there. Get them in people's hands, please. So that fixes a problem with hype. The scoring fixes a problem with hype. And the 99 MP fixes a problem with hype. Oh wait, those aren't actually hype problems. Those are Scopely problems with how you're implementing the hype itself, right? So stop giving players a reason to hate hype, which is a potentially very awesome feature and has a lot of cool stuff to it, but you're making it way, way worse than it has to be. So increase the scoring, get the MP coaches and trainers in people's hands. Send the 3 MP coaches out, period, in a claim. Let everyone get them. Add 5 MP trainers on these crappy reworks that have worthless training abilities that no one wants to use anyway, and improve feud scoring by like 50%. And I bet you a massive portion of your hype complaints will go away, right? And then we can play strategically, have more fun, and enjoy this game, which is why we all play it, to have fun. So long story short, it's more like long story longer. It's really frustrating for me as a player to see my friends struggle, because not because they're not embracing hype, but because you implemented it super crappy. And these are some really simple solutions to fix it that won't take you long at all. If you don't like the solutions, that's fine. You can come up with your own, but it's not that hard. If you think 50% is too much, then at least do 20, at least do 30, right? I don't know. I can't really do much more than tell you what I think is wrong and give you some really simple solutions that can be done quickly to fix it. So for everyone else, guys, I appreciate you watching. I do like hype a lot. I know that'll piss people off, and people think I defend Scopely. I don't. I want a good game. I defend the game, what I think is good, about the game. You get my opinion all the time. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent. You can disagree, right? If you disagree with me, it doesn't mean I'm defending Scopely. Just like if you disagree with me, it doesn't mean I'm attacking Scopely right now. Actually, it does. I am attacking Scopely right now. Because I think it's very clear they could do things to do better here, and they need to do things to do better. In the long run, though, I do think hype can be awesome for our game, and I'm glad it's here. But and I don't just want everyone in the comments like piling on and being like XYZ sucks. Try to give constructive criticism, right? Like you can say I hate this about hype, but then give an alternative, right? Like don't just be like, this sucks, worst thing ever, I'm deleting my account. Honestly, I'm gonna go soapbox here for a second too, as long as we're here. Everyone that says I'm gonna quit playing because of hype, then just do it. Like, I'm getting sick of hearing about it, right? Like, yeah, hype is the worst thing ever, I'm done playing. Well, then do it. Hype is the worst thing ever, I'm done spending. Yeah, right. You're not. You're still doing it, right? Like, so basically what I'm saying is build a bridge and get over it, right? Like, don't just say you're going to quit playing, I'm done spending, remove hype from the game. None of that is helpful or useful to you or Scopely or your fellow players, right? Give constructive feedback. Saying get rid of hype is not constructive feedback. It's a feature. It's not going away. They spent money developing it. It's here instead of 7-star, which, by the way, 7-star would be way more imbalanced, just FYI. And you could buy, you would have seen people, literally seen people with 7-star bronze full lineups. Like whales get that day one. You don't see full lineups of hype 4, right? So I will argue that point till the cows come home. But yeah, come on, let's just this is fixable very easily. So throw your ideas in there. You can throw your constructive criticism in here. And yeah, I don't know. That's what I got. This video is way too long. Like I said, there's no way this was going to work for the daily news because I had way too much to get off my chest. Let's hope Scopely listens. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. Other than that, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. I don't know. I don't really think much about this stuff. Like, I don't have an outline. I jumped all over the place, so hopefully this is an okay video. But it's something that definitely I've been thinking about over the weekend, and I needed to kind of get out there. So hopefully it's okay, guys.